What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily astrology horoscope for Tuesday, June 7th, 2022. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. I appreciate you all so much. I hope you had a great Monday, great weekend. I'm finally back home, but not for long. We are heading to Utah in just a couple days, and busy. So, an announcement, I'm probably not going to do the weekly or the tarot this week. It's just, there's so much going on, but I'm going to make sure that I get all the daily horoscopes recorded ahead of time because there's no service up there and I won't be able to upload. So I am at least going to get a daily video out for every day this week for anybody who enjoys that, to keep it rolling. So that's going down, but more importantly, let's talk about the astrology today. So, today's very interesting, this Tuesday. This moon, it is getting into the second and finishing, going into the third decan of Virgo. I feel like it's definitely stressed. It's dealing with that square to the sun at 16 degrees of Gemini. Now, to me, this feels like an interesting place to be, especially with the moon finishing off the day opposite Neptune, because there's like reality checks and there's like actual fact of the matter stuff. There's truth in your daily life that's showing up right now. And I feel like with the sun at a net 7 with the 16, there's also something about almost trying to get too intuitive, like relying on intuition or almost like over-intuiting things in our life when it's actually just there's fact of the matter stuff. Like this is true, this is true, this is true, this is a fact, this is, analyzing what's actually real. Because I feel like we can almost want to escape that with the opposition to Neptune and like over-intuit things. And that might be a judgment that we're projecting out on other people, that we're projecting out on ourselves. And it could be a lot of weight that we're carrying there. And that's just like how I'm feeling about it as it like shows up. But this is purifying things. I think when we're able to look at the truth and like have like a really good like understanding, get very mercurial about it with these two Mercury ruled signs and Mercury still in shadow, post-retrograde shadow, but out of retrograde and finally done with Algol and also moving towards the final trine to Pluto. Like, we got to look deeper into the truth of what's actually showing up in our lives and stop like making up scenarios or having like these like crazy, things have to just be what they are. So there's actual truth of the matter in the moment. And I think that it's important to get into that space of like seeing what is really true and then purifying from there, staying open creatively. I mean, I'm not saying like block intuition. No, I'm not going to listen to that, but like what's actually real? Like this is one of those like reality check days where it's going to feel really weird and very mentally stimulated. And I think there's a lot of spiritual guidance and I think there's all of that all the time, but look at the fact in your environment. Pay attention to that because there's deeper truths that are hiding, that are trying to get you farther, showing up for what you need to do for your careers, for your long-term purpose with Mercury and trine to Pluto. So just things to think about. And, Mars is getting closer and closer to Chiron. So this week is very interesting as it starts, progressing and into next week because this is going to be a hard one for the collective. Mars is at home, feeling strong and courageous and powerful in Aries and starting this great story after meeting with Jupiter. But then it's like, oh, let me doubt myself. It's almost trying to get too deep. We're almost trying to we're getting ourselves so deep that we're not in the moment. And that's Mars in Aries. It's pure instinct. It's in the moment action. It's impulsive. And we're going to be a little hesitant to act on those impulses. And to do what, we really want to go after, just do what we desire. And there's like cold hard truth. Today brings like the fact of the matter about what deeper things are holding you back. and how it takes courage to just be honest about those things and to not make up some scenario in our own heads about them, but like really get real. And that's stressful because reality is not always stressful. I think reality is beautiful, but reality can be stressful. And Virgo reminds us that we have to be in reality to purify ourselves. We came here as souls to live a physical world, a physical life in a physical world, and here we are. So, we got to do both. And I think that's the mix today, is using both but not escaping the reality because of just a feeling or a sensitivity, but like, having the conversations, talking it out. What is right here? What is right here? Also, Black Moon Lilith is square Chiron as well. So, gosh, there is just a lot of emotion on the table that needs to be figured out, analyzed, looked at. It just has to go that way, because if we're, and honestly, this is going to bring up some definitely like some extremely sensitive things about where we thought things were going, how we're going to identify with things moving forward. It's that's a hard one. And we've been dealing with that for a little while now. So it's very strange with Black Moon Lilith, because we can all want to be so protective of ourselves or of our emotions. And, we have to be vulnerable. And I think that's one thing that about today is like, if you can be vulnerable and in a humility, like a place of humility, and realizing that we're all human, you and I, every one of us, so human, and to look at it from a human perspective and kind of like go back to that, there's truth there for us. And I don't know why I'm getting that so strong, but I think that it's important to have that, because there's almost like people are pushing some things so hard that aren't meant to be pushed for, and we have to figure out what those are without being too sensitive, but looking at the truth of the matter. Does it work? Does it not work? Does it keep you stimulated in value? Does it keep you stimulated in feeling worthy of yourself? Just look at these things. Venus is done with that, 10-degree mark where it crossed over the solar eclipse. And I just think that we're at a place where we have to really go into what we value, really go into how we look at ourselves, and realize that no matter what, we can take care of ourselves, we can lift ourselves up, and we can have better. But it is by definitely paying attention to what's going on. Today feels like a heavy dose of like, you weren't paying attention to this before, especially with Saturn now retrograde. It's like the stuff that we were just skipping over. Now we're like in summer school, and Saturn's like, why'd you skip over that? That's why you're here. So there's definitely, some big things going on, and yeah. But the moon does trine over to Uranus in Taurus. It does trine the North Node. So it's like by being in reality, by looking at things with a critical eye, by paying attention to what's going on, you're going to have breakthroughs. You're going to go towards more value, and it's going to be very beneficial. But it's like, it's kind of like heavy to go through these things, because the truth is heavy sometimes. The truth isn't always what we want it to be, or what we thought it was going to be, or what we dreamt it would be. Sometimes it's actually really cold, Saturn in Aquarius, hard truth. And there's serious, energy there. And the moon will finish off with a quincunx over that Saturn. So there's definitely going to be some big decisions made today based on the truth and the fact of the matter and what showed up in your reality and what's going on moving forward from there. I got the new Badass Tarot deck. Badass Tarot 2. Came in the mail while I was in Havasu. Smells like a new deck. Looks exactly like the other one. I could like mix them together, but that would just be the biggest deck in the world, and I wouldn't be able to shuffle it at all. so curious what the first card from this deck is going to be, and it is the Seven of Cups. So funny. It's definitely one of those Seven of Cupsy days where it's like there's so many different things. We can feel like we want to be lost in VR. We want to be looking at some imaginary, circumstance, but there's actually truth right here, right now that we have to figure out, and we have to, kind of make a decision. Pick something that the truth is. Like, what's real? Is the VR world real? Maybe to some. Or is like what's going on in your personal life? Is that matching with the purity of the life that you really want? And are you lost in all these other things? King of Swords. Yeah. This is definitely, make decisions. Define your life. There's no question about it. Like, have defining energy and speak your mind about the truth, and you'll probably find the one thing amidst all these things that you might be looking out at that you really want to, go after and build and create. Five of Cups upright. Oh, man. That's a hard one. I'm going to miss you, asshole. It's so funny. We need to put to rest, like, where we're putting ourselves in states of apathy and lack and feeling just, bad about ourselves. We need to put that to rest. And, maybe we miss that asshole, maybe not, but like, or maybe there's someone else in life that's being an asshole. Like, we need to put things to rest. Time to bury some things, clean things up, define, make decisions, know what you want. And that's Seven of Cups. We can get lost right now. And we have to be very present. So I wouldn't escape reality. Why did we get the Seven of Cups? Knight of Swords in reverse. Yeah, we need to slow down and pay attention to reality today, because it has more answers than most people want to believe these days. Everybody thinks the answer is somewhere else, but it's all over. There's answers everywhere, but today is like real life. Oh, that's what I need to define and respond to, because that's the most important. All right. I love you all very much. I hope you have a beautiful Tuesday, and I'll see you all for the rest of the week, and I'll be in Utah soon, and yeah. What a life. It's fun, but I'm a tired Capricorn. Catch you all next time. Peace.